2, 1. Alrighty then, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time it happens to be for you in your fine area of the world. My name is Michael, I am the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Curse of Strahd. This is, of course, our D&D 3.5. What? I wish I were playing 3.5. I'm not. I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, where we are joined by my wonderful Patreons who support the channel, who ensure that I can keep the lights on and do amazing things. They get to join me here every Wednesday night, and we play in the lands of Barovia in this wonderful adventure. A very special welcome to our people who are already in chat. I can see that our dear Esriel and Nori are here. Welcome in. It is great to see you guys. Now, before we begin, let us do a round of introductions of these wonderful people and the characters that they are going to play. Starting, of course, with none other than Esther, our changeling cleric, played by the delightful McKinley. Good evening, or good morning, McKinley.
How are you?
I'm doing spectacularly. Tell us about Esther's modus operandi. What is Esther striving for whilst traveling across the desolate lands of Barovia?
At the moment, Esther's trying to really just figure out what is happening and how she can help in any way, whatever's going on in Barovia.
Being an all-round nice person, helping folks out, and trust me, there are plenty of folks to help out here. So, awesome. Very, very cool. All right. Next up, we have the delightful Domiro, the satyr bard, played by the even more delightful Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Michael.
How are you?
I am good, thank you.
Excellent. Tim, tell us about your last game. That's what I want to hear from you. What happened to you last week?
Last week, everything. I mean, what didn't happen really?
Oh, yeah, I mean all the things simultaneously.
Everything happened pretty much.
You made a particular.
Got some wine. We killed some druids, or tried to, but someone else beat us to it.
Yeah.
May have hooked up with a witch.
Yeah, that's right. You found yourself a little love connection.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of like under the bleachers, bottle of wine.
Yeah, Demira's not that choosy. You know.
Definitely not that picky. All right, so I can't wait for that. And speaking of someone with a history to do with wine, Argento, our paladin. That's actually very dark for people who have been watching the show. That is a very dark joke to make. So play
either Rakan or Argento for that one.
Yeah, that's true. So playing the role of our silver dragonborn paladin is none other than the delightful Charles. Good evening, sir. How are we?
I am doing great. How are you?
Oh man, I'm doing absolutely splendidly. Tell us why wine is such a sensitive topic for Argento.
Well, you see, Argento came across a nasty batch of dragon blood wine, and it happened to be all of my kinfolk from my childhood. So yes, not tough.
This is Old Town.
And how does that make you feel?
Very, very angry.
Very angry.
Yeah, Argento's very obviously disturbed by this. I beat the hell out of 3 wine casts last week just for the hell of it. I'm looking to smash the rest of these barrels I see on the map. So
yeah. It seems like your issue isn't so much with Strahd, it's with wine barrels specifically. My family was killed by a wine barrel, and that's fair enough.
Well, then, this is turning quickly into Donkey Kong for those of you who can remember that.
Yeah, look, you would definitely have more luck killing the barrels than you would Strahd. But speaking of Strahd, of course, someone someone has had a close encounter. None other than our Chronomancer Goliath Vagog, played by the delightful and wonderful Neil from Immersion Diversion. Hello, Neil. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing wonderfully, thank you. Now, Neil, we left last session in a very unique way. I'm not going to go into that, but how do you feel about the next scene coming up? Like, what do you feel? What's going through your head?
I honestly don't know what to say, because I don't, my head is just swimming with what's about to happen. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I'll just leave it at that. Although
Please don't
I am
tell
very
me Vagog is feeling thirsty.
No, Vagog's now got a phobia of wine.
Man, I could really use some berries right now.
Yes, you show that.
No more wine. I'll drink beer.
Now these berries look really good.
Oh man! All right,
test it for me, please.
Okay, so real quick, I'd like to give a very special shout out and thank you to Noria for resubscribing for another 3 months. Noria, you are a absolute gem. Thank you so much for your support, and Tasriel for using your Prime subscription to continue your subs here. It's always a pleasure seeing you, dude, and I really appreciate you generously subscribing and using your Prime to support us here. You're a wonderful dude. I love it. And, of course, a welcome to Hey Rizzy, who is, of course, a new follower who just followed us. So, welcome in. Sit down. Grab yourself a cup of whatever makes you happy. And let's get today going. Now, before we do, we have a couple of shout-outs. First of all, we have our sponsors to shout out for, which are, of course, Hero Forge for the lovely artworks which you see on screen, which also include a wide variety of NPCs, such as Sir Tem, who is now on screen by Esther. But we can say bye to Sir Tem because he's not here. We also thank Sirenscape for the lovely tunes and the wonderful sound effects. There you go. Which will be played throughout the course of the game. And, of course, to Fantasy Grounds for the software and VTT that we use during the game. Now, guys, this is not your typical D&D game where you get to watch a bunch of people play a role-playing game. This is a interactive audience participation game. You guys in the audience are behind the screen with me playing this game at the same time. You guys get to influence stuff as it happens. Also, Tasfriel, you bloody legend, thank you so much for gifting those 5 subs to the community. Guys, if you have just gotten a sub, then please enjoy every single one of those emojis. Enjoy all the joys and benefits of being one of the Dead Aussie Gamer subscribers. It will treat you well, and you'll be able to raid people with ghosts and ghouls and goblins.
We need more subs.
Yes, we need more subs. Yes, thank you. I do. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I keep looking at some of my friends' subs, and I'm like, I need more shots. Maybe I should do things. Maybe I should, do other things. Anyway, I digress. Now, you guys in the audience have a number of ways that you can influence the course of the game. The first, of course, is through channel points. Simply by being here, being an active member of the community, chatting, and just being lovely, you guys will earn channel points, which you can use to influence the game as we proceed. You can, let's have a look. You can force rerolls onto NPCs or grant rerolls to the players for them to use. You can generate plot twists, which mean I go through this lovely deck of cards that generate a random plot twist that will shift the game, usually quite sideways in the middle of an encounter or whenever you feel like it. You can give group inspiration to everyone, which they can use this session. You can also grant insight bonus, which is a clear clue or an answer to a riddle or puzzle. And of course, if you have the monster tiers, you can create a wandering NPC or boss. Now, even though those are monster tiers, there are ways you can get around the channel points to use them. And that is, of course, through donating to the channel itself. Which I hope is going to work. Nope. Yes?
You have to go through all three of them.
Okay, I don't know where my donations are. Anyway, so for $5, you can give someone an inspiration point, and that inspiration will last until they use it. For $10, you can activate Wheel or Woe. Now, Wheel or Woe is basically where the scene suddenly shifts for the good or the bad of the group. For $20, you can give someone a natural 20, and for $50, you can create an NPC which I will build in Hero Forge and put it into the game. Alternatively, you can also provide the group with a magic item or artifact, which you guys can decide what it is. So, all the proceeds go towards making the channel great, doing cool things, and of course, making stuff that you guys love. All right.
Cheeseburgers.
Ooh. Yes, it goes towards making cheeseburgers.
Yes.
I don't know if I can make cheeseburger. I could probably make a good cheeseburger. I can make it. I'll make a good cheeseburger. I tell you what. As soon as I get
If it's a meat in it, I'm sure you can make a good.
Yeah. Look, that'll be my million subscriber or million follower count thing. It'll be like Michael makes and releases his epic cheeseburger recipe. That's what it'll be. Now, before we
anyone
start,
doesn't know, Michael is
But that Aussie cheeseburger.
I am actually very good at meat cooking. I'm actually, I'm not going to brag, but I made a golden lamb roast, and it was legit gold. It was delicious. All right, so thank you to the current followers. We have the Jolly Buddha and Sneaky Rogue Thief. Thank you for the follows. And
Sneaky Rogue Thief.
First time here. Love the concept of the interaction. Yeah, and look,
that's awesome.
Look, guys, just between us. Okay, lean in. Okay. You don't actually need to use those channel points or donate, because I'm going to be reading chat the whole way, and if your idea is really good, I'll just use it. I'll steal it. I'll take it unashamedly and use it against my party, because that's who I am as a human being. All right, let's get started. Let's get this game on the road. Let's set the ambiance, shall we? All right. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the realm of Barovia. The scene opens once more at the Wizards of Wine, a small but unassuming winery set into the western portion of Barovia's countryside. To the south, past the gnarled vineyard, we return to the scene of chaos and carnage. Death has stained the soils of the grapevines here, with many witches having been slain after attacking our group in cold blood. The scent of compost and dried and mossy twigs, the blights that now lie scattered and destroyed, some burnt by the flames of Argento's breath, others stabbed and poised and kicked and battered. Even the corpse of a large troll rots next to an outhouse, crushed underfoot by a colossal monkey that Domiro had transformed into. The Wizards of Wine winery has not looked as bad as it currently does.
Doesn't Argento have frost breath?
Does he? Oh, sorry, my apologies. They're frozen, which smells like, I don't know, snow? Whatever snow smells like. Look, I live in Australia. We don't get that. All right. Well, I don't get it. They do over there. Anyway, so we return once again to the winery, but not upon the surface, where Vigag seems to be searching around, finding certain things upstairs, or where Esther and Argento have managed to destroy a small container of barrels that were poisoned by the druids, who sought revenge against the owners of the winery itself. No, we don't start there. we go beneath the house, under the stairs, beyond the glass blower's workshop, where Domiro has made a new friend. A rather fetching young lady, one of the druid sisters, who has invited Domiro downstairs for a small midnight drink. All right, and with that, let us begin. Starting with our first scene. Boop. All right, Domiro, you nurse a small wooden cup of what looks to be a blood-red wine. The druidess leans over and says, "I've never met someone quite as well put together as you. It's not often that..."
Think of it, I don't think I have either.
She sits on the floor, her legs sort of seated in a way that sort of it's like almost side saddle that she would be sitting on the ground, and she gestures for you to sit on the floor beside her.
I'll sit down.
It is not often that we get to speak with those who do not come from the lands. You and your feet seem to tell the stories of someone who has traveled far and wide.
I have, indeed. I would be what some would call a far traveller.
Ah, well, perhaps then you will share me a story. Tell me of some of the places that you've seen. My sisters, they keep me in the forest. For my own safety, they say.
Well, you see, I've been to places quite the opposite of the forest. Have you ever seen what they call a desert?
No.
Oh, well, it's a truly barren place, but surprisingly full of these amazing oases, where it's just this little island in the middle of a wasteland. One might say even the desert of the place. And you can go in there and have a nice bathe and all that, and then you head off and you're just dry instantly, bone dry. There's nothing to see but sand for miles.
She says nothing but sand. I can scarcely imagine it. She then takes a drink of the wine. Do you join her?
Yeah, we were already drinking before.
Yes, I know, but I'm re-establishing it for the newbies.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I drink with her.
Okay, good. All right. As you drink the wine, the spirits seem to go to your head. There's this kind of swimming sensation rolling in the back of your mind. I need you to make me a perception check. Also, where's Murray?
He's up in the bag.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, so he's with me. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Natural 20. As you drink the wine, there's a very sudden flash. For a moment, you could swear that the beautiful, fetching druidess, her skin suddenly transforms, changes into, I don't know, something green. This is what flashes before your eyes. Before returning once again to the visage of the beautiful woman.
Holding the heart as well, or just the green?
Just the green skin. She's not. She is holding the wine bottle. Oh, sorry, the wine glass. Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, upstairs, back
We did
in
get a
the
plot
winery.
twist too, by the way.
What's that?
Well, we got a plot twist.
Oh, we got a plot twist. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me activate my plot twisty bar thing. Here we go. Bam! Noria has redeemed a plot twist. Also, hello, Captain Malik. Welcome. I hope that you are having a good day at work. And Lord Garthon, good to see you, sir. Very, very wonderful. This stack of bones is not sus at all. Yes, it's not. It's not sus. Quiet. Shush. All right. Let's see, Noria. Because you have generated a random plot twist, I will draw 2 cards from the plot twist deck, and you get to pick one. So, uno and dos, we have... No, sorry, we're not having those. Mostly because it's the past... Okay, I just drew the path most traveled and the path least traveled It just seemed like a rip-off combo. So let me try that again. All right.
Nice.
Okay, we have Marked by the Gods and Bad News. Those are our two. All right, no worries, London. You have a wonderful, wonderful day at work. All right. So, you can pick one of those two, Noria, and then we will make that happen. Okay. Now, back upstairs in the winery, we return to Esther and Argento, our Dragonborn Paladin and Changeling Cleric. The two of you are in the winery, and you've heard a commotion from upstairs. The sounds of Vagag shouting very suddenly, and the sound of, like, glass breaking, almost like a window has been shattered. What do you wish to do?
Oh, I want to run up there, in whatever direction I heard the voice coming from.
All right. It seems to come from the staircase. As you run, Esther, what do you do?
I follow behind, kind of keeping a pace behind him.
All right. The two of you take to the stairs, running up as quickly as possible. As you get to the top, you continue to hear the shouts and the screams coming from your left-hand side. You follow the catwalk above the various casks of wine on the floor below. You can see what looks to be scratch marks along the walls here as you pass through a door that seems to have been kind of jammed open, like something big and heavy had walked through. From here, you cannot see or hear Demiro anymore. Oh, sorry, not Demiro. Vagag. You are in a room where a large and heavy winch hangs over an opening. You know that the opening below leads to the caravan where they load the wine from for the winery, which of course you can see from where you are, but it is now smashed as Argento has destroyed everything here.
Oh,
All right,
So
you've gotten to here. It's now dead quiet. What do you do?
Yeah. So I will. I'll look to Esther and say, "Do you know where he was going? I can't hear him anymore."
I don't. But, hold on. So we saw scratch marks, right?
Yeah, back in just along the wall, as if something had just walked past and just sort of run its fingernails across it. It does look to have a human hand kind of spread, like someone had long, gnarled fingernails. But, yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Let's see. Do you happen to have the map, by the way?
Oh, yes, my apologies. Also,
worries.
while I am sharing the map, I would like to welcome a few new people to the channel. Luna Fast Foods, Clockwork, I love that, by the way, and Snare Passion. Welcome to the channel, please. I hope you enjoy your stay. All right, Esther.
Okay.
Oh, and I will just get it so that everyone can sync
Awesome.
their views. There you go. That's where everyone is.
Okay. You saw the scratch marks too, right?
Yep.
Scratch marks.
That's
Yes,
okay.
I did. Do you suppose they were Gogs?
I'm not sure, but do you think that we should continue forward, or should we go back and see those, or should we split up here? Which do you think?
Well, if he's in trouble, it might be best if I get to him, but maybe if you want to investigate those marks, you can, but I think if I go forward and look for him, what if something's attacked him? What if, I mean, he's not doing so well with all the poisoning he's been taking the last few days. He can't be in very good health.
He has pretty much spent the last few days drinking poison. It's actually not a lie.
What do you think? What would you? Do you want me to stay with you, or do you want me to go after Vergog?
I'm the guy. I stand point here. Let me know if you need me. And I'm just gonna kind of survey in between the two doors, kind of keeping an eye on both, so that I can hear Argento, but see if anything's behind the door.
Very
All right.
well.
So then I'll make my way down the hall and I'll call out to Vergog.
All right. As you make your way through, we now turn to Vagag, who is in the master bedroom, upstairs, just one thin wall away from where Argento is searching for him. He has just taken a gaze upon a large portrait of none other than Strahd himself, who has spoken through his visage to the unsuspecting wizard. The image of Strahd has shattered, leaving behind Vagag aging as an old man. And Vagag, you watch as this figure in front of you leans forward and presses up against the mirror. The version of you, its face withered and decayed, yells out, "Look at me! You did this! Your obsession! You will be the end of us!" And as he does, he leans forward, almost like a sheet of thin cling wrap. The mirror bends to the hands that try to reach out to grab you. Vagag, what do you do as you see this?
Scream.
Yep. But tripping on the carpet behind me, I kind of fall on my ass.
All right. You fall down, tripping on the carpet, and you let loose a shout. Argento, you hear that shout from the other side of the wall.
I yell out, "Magog, are you all right?
Stay back! Stay back! No!"
All right, Argento, what do you respond to the yells?
I just run as fast as I can in the direction, like to see if I can find a way to gain
Just runs
access
into the
to
wall.
where he's coming from. Yeah.
All right, you run around the corner very quickly, making your way through the two doors that separate from you and Vagag. It's not very hard because there are only two ways to go. As you make your way, you burst into the room to see Vagag on the floor. He's just sort of looking up at a mirror, and he is just screaming. You look at the mirror, and there is nothing there. Vagag, a cold sweat drips down your forehead as you are pointing at the visage of you within the mirror that's like kind of leaning out. To you, it's there, but then as soon as your eye line changes and you see Vagag, you call for help, and 2 seconds later, as you look back at the mirror that once had your face melting, the mirror has returned to its original form. You see your face. You see Argento. You're not sure what just happened, whether this was some sort of vision or portents, but the nightmarish image burns still at the back of your eyes.
So do not look at the mirror.
What is wrong with the mirror? What do you
I
mean?
grab his head. Don't look at the mirror. It messes
All
with
right.
you. I saw myself aging. I also... I can't even speak. Like, I'm so torn right now. Just,
You I sort of lean in and sniff. You haven't been drinking any more wine, have you?
forgot the wine.
As you take a deep breath, Vagag reeks of wine as he has taken multiple baths in it. Guys, I would like to just take a very, very quick moment again to thank, of course, our new followers, which we have, as well as a raid to Shibrina Mendez. That's what I'm going to try and call it as. Thank you for the follow. The Motley Crusaders, welcome in to all of the fans from the Motley Crusaders. My name is Michael. I'm the Nailsy Gamer. These are my Patreons who play Curse of Strahd. We have Vagag, our Chronomancer Goliath, Argento, our Paladin Dragonborn, Demiro, our Satyr Bard, and Esther, our Changeling Cleric. Currently, we're in a winery trying to figure out some spooky stuff that happens to be going on. And of course, welcome Ira Janasi, and thank you so much for your generous bits. And the Quokka Bloke, Jesus, the Quokka Bloke for your follow. You are a bloody legend. And now the Spiritual guys, oh my god, so many. The Spiritual that Z guy, Turquoise Vixen, Spiritual Cockroach. Thank you all so much, and thank you for the subs. Jesus Christ. Thank you, everyone. Guys, if you guys want to know, we are playing D&D. We also do a lot of audience participation stuff, guys. So remember, donations create inspiration. Wield and Woe, which is like good things, bad things. You can give $20 for a natural 20 for someone, and for $50, I will make a Hero Forge mini of your design, of your choice, and insert an NPC into the game. Or you can use that $50 to give someone a magic item. There we go. I think I've hit everything. Oh, and channel points, but you can read them. They're fine. All right. Let's keep going. And
Does Argento smell the room, by the way? Because when I entered, it was smelling like death, you said.
Yeah, no, it definitely reeks of death. It still does. And, Argento, that smell of, like, death and decay comes very, very suddenly as you look to the crib that has the wrapped blanket with brown stains over it. Now, Vagad, you glossed over that. You kind of didn't interact with it. But Argento,
I was more going for the magic. That
you were looking at the portrait of behind it. But now, Argento, you've entered the scene.
Yeah.
It is up to you as to what you would like to do.
Okay, so as I've kind of had a cheeky go at Vergog for drinking wine, I now notice this wretched smell that's emanating from this crib, as you say. So I quickly turn to it, and as it's just pungent, I can definitely makes me very sick, and I'm almost repulsed enough to want to run away, but something creepy about it. I slowly make my way over to it. See if I can see what's in it, what's making, what's causing this smell.
We don't have to poke everything that's creepy, right?
I know.
All right. Argento, you make your way forward towards the crib. You're not entirely sure if it's the wind or there's something else going on here, but there's a sudden creak as the crib rocks as you approach. Returning downstairs
to more pleasant things.
Yes, a very lovely druid, a very attractive forest druid with long hair, with what looks to be brambles and branches stuck throughout it. A lovely druidess is sitting and enjoying a lovely glass of wine with Demiro. Demiro regaling this delicate beauty with tales of his wanderings and his illustrious journeys. Now, as this is happening, Demiro, you got a vision, a flash of something, almost like I will flash it again for our lovely audience. Dun dun dun! You got a flash of something as you caught a glimpse of her whilst drinking, but you're not sure what to make of it. The scene is yours, Demiro. What would you like to do?
So, tell me something of yourself.
She bats her eyelids at you and she says, well, there has been me and my sisters for as long as I can remember. You see, people don't really accept our kind so readily in the city. We found peace among the land and the creatures that dwell within. We also enjoyed the company of the Fey folk and those who would... At this point, she places her hand gently on your knee and runs a single slender finger just kind of up the muscle of your thigh, just stopping about maybe 4 inches from your hip. As she says, the satyrs were particularly interesting and were a great way to pass the time. I specialized in a type of magic. Some called it necromancy, but those only are from the people who don't understand this type of magic. Everyone thinks it's all about raising the dead, but it's so much more than that.
Oh, it's more about control over life, is it not?
She smiles and she says, yes, exactly. I mean, life is so full of pleasure and so full of wonders. Death is not something we should be afraid of. It's something that we shouldn't fear because we should be able to control it at our whim. We should be able to do. And she leans in close. What our instincts say.
That does sound like everything that I do.
All right. She says, you remind me so much of a life that I yearned for so long ago. If you could live forever, would you? Would you choose to spend eternity seeing as far as your eyes could see, to travel as far as your hooves would take you? Would you do this, Demiro?
Well, I had never really considered the length of time of my travels before. But, I mean, it is what I enjoy the most. I wonder if it would lose some of its sheen if I knew it would go on forever.
Well, imagine, if you would, there was a horizon that you had not yet seen. It would be a shame if you were to, one day, have your bones and your muscles all of a sudden just give up and prevent you from being able to see the world. To still be alive, but not yet be able to journey.
That would be a shame.
Then, perhaps... And with that, she takes her, like a fingernail, and runs it along her index finger, pricking and piercing the skin ever so slightly. She drops a single drop into her wine. She says, then perhaps you would travel with me for as long as your feet will take you. And she offers you her her cup. You can make an insight check if you would like. Also, while we are making insight checks, guys, thank you. Thank you so much, Karen, for all of those subs. I have no idea how the hype train got missed, but you know, I'm going to pretend like you hype trained me, and I want to thank everyone for those donations and those bits, as well as, of course, our lovely Ira Janasi. You guys are so, you spoil me. You really do. You absolutely do. Okay, so with your 17 on your insight, as she hands over the glass or the goblet, you take a look at it, and you realize something. The blood that poured from her finger was black. With all the visions that you seem to be getting, it is very clear now, more than ever, that this is not any kind of witch. This is not some naive, dreary-eyed dreamer druid, but this is a creature that you know well. Your father and your father's father have warned you of such a creature. It is a green hag. A green hag is a malicious type of hag, a witch who causes and creates blight wherever they travel. You believe that the reason why the witches from upstairs had so many of them is likely because this hag had granted her children power beyond imagine. And she now sits here with you.
So, is there any further stories to the Green Hags? They just basically they all plague the landscapes that they inhabit.
Yes, very much so.
Right.
Some say that over time, a green hag's presence can be seen as moss, mold, and lichen take over from where the verdant and beautiful plants tended to grow.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Well, there would also be the idea, though, that what we gain from life is because we know that our time is limited. So we can choose to cherish the moments all the more so.
She looks at you, and her face has changed. Instead of looking at you with those goo-goo, very, very lovey eyes. Her gaze has changed and shifted. She now looks at you with almost like an ire that burns within her. She says, You seek to tell me about the value of life and death?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm merely suggesting that I have not experienced both sides yet, so not been an expert in the matter. I still feel I have much to learn on it.
She leans forward and she says, Then take the time, learn with me. And she's almost now forcing the wine to you.
Well, not knowing how long I'll be in Barovia, I mean, I'm happy for you to travel with us while I'm here. Maybe I can take the time to learn.
She says, Of course. But for now, drink.
From her cup.
Yes.
I think I tried this before.
COVID, man, don't do it.
And yeah, I did it up the top. So I'll do the same trick that I did when the little berry thing was in the wine. And just over the shoulder.
What's that?
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have hit
I think I did performance with that before.
yeah. Hold on a second. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have just hit a hype train thanks to a wonderful series of donations from a bunch of people. Because of the hype train, and we are currently in the midst of a game, we are going to be applying our very special hype train rules. The hype train rules go as follows. For every level of the hype train, one of our heroes our group can choose to dip into...
One of our heroes dies.
Yes, one of our heroes die. So brand new characters, everyone. No. We are going to give everyone a universal inspiration. Any player can claim it at any given time. You currently have 2. If we get to a level 3 hype train, we will get the 3rd, and then level 4 we'll get the 4th, etc., etc., etc. So we currently have 2 of these. So Demiro, you may use one of these if you would like.
We also did get another plot twist from Tasfarel.
Oh, Tasfarel. Yes, I will do that as well. Thank you.
I think we've got at least one plot twist. Oh, no, yeah, that was already given out.
I will, yes.
Sure. I feel like it's probably a good as time as any to use it at the moment.
All right, roll with advantage on your performance as you try to fling over your shoulder. All right, with a 26. Wow, that's amazing. All right.
Dang.
With a 26, you do... Bam. You do manage to once again perform. She licks her lips and she smiles, but then her face sort of changes. She wonders again, why? Why is... Do you pretend to die?
Yeah.
All right, you start to... oh, what a world. And as soon as you die, she stops and she smiles wickedly. She then tosses her hair back and she drops her wine glass. She says, "Foolish boy, your soul is far more valuable than your life. And there is nothing sweeter than the soul of one in love. It's like the most delicate of wines. Tastes like strawberries." She reaches into a pouch and pulls a small vial, and she leans you up, sort of props you, and tilts your head back. She's not trying to pour something out of you, but it looks as though she's pulling something in as she leans in forward to you, and as she does, she stops.
Wait, did you say in love?
She seems shocked. Her eyes open wide. She is startled by your sudden awakeness.
I didn't say I was in love.
How are you? How?
Oh, I'm passionate.
That's the power of love.
She scowls and says, "What is the meaning of this?" How are
I
you?
thought you said that the power of someone in love is what you're after.
But how are you alive? This should not be possible.
Hang on. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am.
She leans down and lifts up her dress, revealing a garter belt with a twisted dagger made of the bone of. It's kind of like a chicken foot attached to a bit of leather. She pulls out this gnarled dagger and she says, "Well, I was hoping to let you die peacefully. I guess things have to get messy." All right. Now, we are going to change scenes very quickly, but before we
Stab
do...
you with chicken scratch.
Before we do, and before I forget, Tasfriel, who was the lovely individual who gave us our plot twist from our channel points, you get to choose between Second Wind and Agony of Defeat. Those are your choices. All right. Meanwhile, we return upstairs. Esther. The sounds of shouting seem to have died down. You've waited a little bit, but you cannot seem to hear where your allies have gone.
Let's see. Okay, so I heard the shining rays just sort of died down, kind of like. Was it sudden, or did it just kind of feel like everything fizzled out? Like
it seems like the sounds have died down. It seemed you heard Argento yell and then run into the next room, but then the noises seemed to disappear.
Okay. I don't know where anyone is at this point, because I don't know if those two just died, and I don't know where Demiro is. So I don't want to leave either of them kind of in the dust at the moment.
All right. Well, what do you want to do?
Well, as I was saying, I was going to keep the post that I had said I was going to keep, so I can see.
Yep. Sure. Not a problem. All right. Let's see. At this point, okay. First of all, I'd like to give everyone a massive shout out. We've gotten to a level 4 hype train. We are now pushing on to that 5th level, so that means you guys have 3 universal inspirations left to use. So bear that in mind as we continue. We will be locking them in at the end, but as we go into our next scene...
I'll just tip $50 as well.
Wow.
Hiya, Janasi! Oh my god, thank you so much for the donation. As such, you will get to choose and create an NPC or create a magic item or choose a magic item that you would like to provide to our lovely players. Please let us know as I do this particular scene. Now, Esther, you are a cleric, correct? Could you describe to our lovely audience the nature of the deity you have chosen?
So, for Esther, it's the type of cleric where it's not a deity per se, it's more the concept, kind of like how some clerics are more of concepts or something. So, her kind of purview is death and the dead, and sort of like respecting that balance between life and death.
Mm-hmm. So your spirit or your energy comes from the balance of the nature between life and death. Very well. We are going to be playing our plot twist card from earlier in the episode today.
Yeah.
Marked by the gods. Esther, as you wait on guard, there's something wrong with the walls around you. You notice that the scratch marks that you saw on the walls are pretty much everywhere in this house. And as you look at them, inky black blood starts to pour from the walls. And as they do, you watch as a hand, almost a skeletal hand, stretches outwards and reaches from the wall, clasping onto the edge of the wood, almost like a window pulling itself open, creating this black ink blot that stretches the more these two skeletal inky hands seem to pull. What would you like to do?
Where's this coming from? It's sort of like
It is on the wall. So it is.
Okay.
Let me draw it on the map for you, if I may. It is coming from here. So kind of this space there.
Did the level 5 hype train unlock? Because it's gone to 120%.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
we have hit our level 5 hype train. Holy crap. Guys, oh my god, that is incredibly generous. We're going to do a massive shout out at the end of the hype train. But, you know, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. And, yes, also I will be, and also thank you for the massive donation for, was it an NPC or a monster? I think I missed it. It got eaten. It got eaten by my chat. Let me know, please, and I will make that happen. All right. So yes, you can see the inky hands bending out. Yes, here we go. Perfect.
I love the hands so much. Oh, I love.
All right.
So I'm going to step back, not too far, but so she's no architect, but she can imagine that that they haven't gone like Argento hasn't gone 60 feet away unless he's been teleported or something. So just stepping back far enough, she's going to use her second use of Eyes of the Grave so she can detect any undead, so that she can catch both the inky hands and possibly whatever's happening with Argento and Vigod. Although, no, it wouldn't catch that. It would only catch them, I think, because of walls. But
Yeah.
but I can still catch the black hands, the
Okay.
inky hands.
Yeah, very well. Would you like to?
It's just a feature. It's not like a spell or something.
Oh, okay, very well. All right. The hands continue to move. As they stretch it out, you watch as this skull, with ink pouring down it, almost as if it is gushing from a head wound that the skeleton has. As it leans out, it looks to you, but you're not afraid. There's actually a different sense here. This is not some spook, not some ghoul, not some ghast. No. This is a reaper. The soul or entity, an embodiment of death itself, neither evil nor good, but with one strict purpose: the reclamation of the dead. And it whispers something to you, Esther. It's soft at first. You can't quite make it out, but as you lean in, you hear one word. Vigog. He has cheated his time, and I will claim him.
Why did you cheat it?
Sorry, that's very loud. My apologies.
That was awesome, though.
Do not question me, mortal.
Do not question
Do not
me!
question
No. All right.
me.
Drawing our minds back for a moment, we recall a scene back in the village of Barovia, deep below the chapel. A chapel set on fire where Vigog was unfortunate enough to encounter a vampire spawn on his own. Alas, despite the aid of the priest there, Vigog was felled by a mortal wound. His body, dead and lifeless, long since gone, was spared the death by the intervention of a fairy creature, one of Titania's court, who had entered Vigog's body to bring him back to life, so long as his quest became one of seeking love. But while this deal was of course hatched between Vigog and his new spirit, death had other plans. And Esther, as an agent of life and death, you see the entity before you. It pulls itself forth, and as it does, the ink that pours from it forms a long black robe, from which it reaches into its chest and pulls out an immense and massive scythe.
Okay. I think I was right. Esther just kind of looks and says, it wasn't him who cheated. I'm the one that made sure this deal was struck. Isn't the deal forged now? I'm not sure if it can be undone.
I do not care on the how or the why, for death only seeks that Vagag must die. Bless you. Says Death.
Sorry about that.
You all of a sudden. So hang on. Does Vagag have Murray or does Esther have Murray?
I think Magog does if he's in the bag.
Okay, good. Carry on.
I thought that oh, did we put him back in the bag? Because I thought I was holding on to. Oh no, that was back in the when.
You can have him if you want to, but Demiro at the beginning said he was in my bag. So.
Okay.
He's
Now,
in the back.
before we continue this, before we continue, I would like to give a massive shout out to everyone who was involved in the hype train. So here we go. Carney Sideshow, thanks so much for the resubscription, dude. You are a wonderful human being, and if you don't know who Carney Sideshow is, he is a wonderful Southeast Asian performer in role-playing games. Go check out his channel right now. Go shout him out. Go love him. He's amazing. The Jolly Buddha, thank you so much for the bits. Tasfriel as well. Noria for the massive amount of gifted subs. Holy crap. Jolly Buddha for even more bits. Ira Janasi for the $50 donation, and of course the 500 bits, and the new magic item that is going to be awarded to one of my lovely players. To Space Spider, thank you for the follow. We love having you here. Noria for more bits. Noria for more subs. Karen for the bits. Karen for the subs. Jesus, Tasfriel for the bits. And thank you all for just being here and being wonderful human beings. Honestly, like, there is no greater reward for me as a human being than to entertain you people and to have you guys be a part of this journey. So you guys are awesome. Thank you, everyone. Wow. And welcome, Retro Ted. I hope that you are related to Super Ted, because that was literally my favorite show growing up. I loved Super Ted. Anyway, I carry on. Now, magic item. Now, here is your choice, Esther. Esther, you know the nature of life and death. Life cannot be given without death. And death, of course, cannot claim that which is not alive. Thus, if Vagag were truly dead and replaced with life, you know that death currently seeks to kill the fairy creature, but the fairy creature's time may not have come. There is, however, a ritual that you know, a binding ritual, one that you thought you would never really have to resort to because it's not really your thing, but it tickles at the back of your mind. You know that the spirit of death itself can be held within a vessel which is born of undeath and trapped. If you would like, you may lure the Reaper to Vagag and use a religion check to attempt to bind this Reaper to Murray, transforming him into a skull of slay living, in which once per rest cycle those who meet with Murray's gaze may have slay living cast upon them. Did I hear Argento just gasp like, ooh? Did I hear that?
That was me. That was me.
Oh, that was
Don't worry, I did too.
because you covered your mouth at the same time. I'm like, Charles, make that noise.
That was me. I went, "Oh."
Like, I want a
Still,
skull of slay living. Oh my
alignment
god, this is so good.
Yeah.
Yes. See?
Is there still any sort of alignment to spells? Like, is slay living considered magic? Or
Okay.
is it just another spell these days?
So Slay Living is a spell, which basically, if you fail, you die. If you save, you take a massive amount of damage.
But is it considered an evil spell, or is it's just a spell?
Well, technically, you wouldn't be casting it. Technically, Mario would be. AKA, your alignment will not change for you using it.
No, I was just wondering because they don't really have alignment anymore. It's just kind of your actions, so to speak. But I was wondering if they still had that with magic, like it would be considered evil.
Killing someone with a Slay Living would be no different to stabbing them with a knife.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
But it is up to Esтерus if she wishes to use this reward.
Okay.
Would you like us to come back to you?
Well, I was going to say something, but it can wait.
Oh, no, you can. You can. I just didn't know if you wanted some time to think. Okay, carry on.
If you want to change, I know what I'm going to say, but it can wait. So
No, say it.
Okay.
Hold on, let me set the mood again.
Sorry?
I said, let me set the mood again.
Oh, okay.
All right, there you go.
Oh, the mood set, okay. sorry. Okay. Instead of that, you're seeking to claim a soul that was lost. I understand that, but perhaps this is not our realm anymore. The soul he is bonded with is of Titania, not of death. It's not something we can touch. Not yet.
If the words you speak of Titania's child is true, then slaying him is nothing new. As a reaper, my purpose, a duty I must do.
Well, he's got us there.
Well, can't argue with that logic. Go ahead.
All right. As you allow the Reaper to pass.
I did have one thing.
Yeah, go.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it again. Sorry, I was looking for it.
You hear the sounds of ink dripping on the floor as it sort of stands there. It is paying you some heed because of your stance with the clergy, but you know there's only so much that death will wait for.
Death will not wait. And is there any purpose in the exchange that could take place for a soul for another?
A bargain struck, a deal to be made, but even death can have its trade. There is much this world and much to see. But what, dear cleric, do you offer me?
No.
$5.
$5 whole. No.
Old copper pieces.
Oh, did I say it?
There you go.
It was a strange thing. So, in this world, do changelings still work the same way as like folkloric changelings, where they're basically a fade child who has replaced a child?
Yes, that is what a changeling is.
Okay. And would it be I know what I could offer, but before that, would it be of any worth to offer something of the life that so like how she's had so many faces, she could give up that?
So in exchange for Vagag's fate, you would sacrifice your own face?
I guess that would be it. I don't know if it would just like... But yeah, basically not able to change what I look like anymore, just staying. Not being able to use that ability.
Your sacrifice noble for your dear friend, but that is not enough to make amend. Time now only seems to end, and your friend's life will not extend. To the god of death my knee doth bend, and with this blade his life I will rend. As he now then moves past you and heads towards Vagag.
Man,
Sorry?
she says mine.
Mine? Your... He does not
Mine.
understand. Mostly because my head doesn't understand.
No, I was about to say it. What I meant.
I think she was offering hers. When you finish drawing.
Yes.
When you finish. Yes.
It's important.
Very important.
It is very important. I had to finish. Okay. So you're offering... So just so I'm clear, Michael is clear, so that the creature is clear, that you're offering your life in place of Vagag's? Okay. I'm gonna...
Well, if that's what they're looking for, but like if
No,
it's just
I'm
like
gonna point you a hint. This is me trying to write in the magic item that someone paid $50 for.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
I was trying really hard to get you to like put the creature inside of Murray so you can have a magic item. I'm not trying to kill Vagag. No,
Or
it's
is
fine.
he?
It's fine. I haven't been very clear. To be fair, I'm like, wait, no, this is supposed to be a present. I don't want to kill your character. That being said, hold on. Let me readjust. Okay.
Thing.
Give me a second. I need a minute.
No, you're testing Esther. No, no. I'm gonna stay strong to her character.
All right, I got it. All right. In Louisiana culture, there is a tale of various voodoo men who extend their life through the use of various threads. You notice on the personage of this Reaper, there appears to be what looks to be a human finger bone attached to a thread. You believe that this person has already made a deal to extend someone's life, someone that this Reaper has cared about. It wears it like a collar, which binds it, which means that theoretically, the one thing you could bargain for is the deal that they made. So you can bargain for the finger bone, and they have to accept it in exchange for a number of years off your life.
The finger bone that they're wearing?
Correct. So if you don't want to bind the creature to Murray, then this is another way to get it to go away.
Dude, do you want me to take the magic? I can take the magic item.
He's still giving you the magic item.
It's up to you.
It's a literal finger of death.
Look, you're not allowed to be smarter than me. Yes, it is literally a finger of death. Yes, I'm giving you... I'm trying to give you my magic item. All right.
Next time, just have a wandering peddler pop up a store and magic items, spread of magic items for sale.
Super magic items.
I love the...
Get your finger of death.
I love GM Workshop's comment. Classic Strahd. Here's a present. Surprise! It's death.
It's death.
It's very true. It's very true. Okay, let's keep at this. We got this. We got this, guys. We can get a present.
I don't have this. No, I don't.
Okay.
Fine. Okay.
Oh, yes, the chat have just pointed out that Dag doesn't have to try to kill Vagag.
He just, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I just enjoy doing it every once in a while, just to kind of make sure that.
He's so good at doing it himself.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's bound to happen.
Here is a pot of jelly. How are you drowning in it already? It's not even open.
It's just a jar. How?
All right. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it. All right. So, to McKinley, you have two options here. I, the GM, would like to give you a present. You can choose to either barter for the Finger of Death, which will give you the Finger of Death spell, or you could allow the Reaper to go after Vagag and then perform the ritual with an arcane check to bind Murray and make him a Slay Living Skull. The choices are yours as to which one of these you would like, and we can go from there.
Most messed up late birthday present, I must tell you. So, what is the Finger of Death spell? I've heard of it, but...
Massive amounts of damage, and if you die from it, your body is disintegrated, never to be recovered.
Isn't it like you die from it if you have less than or more than 100 HP?
That's power word kill.
Like that?
That's power word kill, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it would just be years off my life if I strike the deal with the Finger of Death.
Yeah.
Just because Esther wouldn't go for the idea of the binding ritual, just because that's much against her. So she would.
There. By the way, there are like thousands of Reapers, right? Like this is just one of millions.
Yeah. Well, she still wouldn't do it. That's just.
Yeah. They also don't mind as well. I'm sorry, I don't say they don't mind. They just don't care. They're like very neutral. They're like, oh well.
But she likes this one.
Yeah, you like this one.
Good. This one's good.
His name. Okay, I want chat to name this Reaper. What is this Reaper's name, everyone? Write it in chat. We'll do a vote. Okay, there we go. So, the Finger of Death.
I started got confused. I thought that it was like it was something that was against her values to do, or is it just like a thing that she just like doesn't really do?
Well, again, being a conduit between life and death, it's part of that nature.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Can we come back? There's been a lot of time on me. Can we go back to it?
It's fine. We can come back to you if you'd like. Would you like that?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I kind of went. I tried to keep the spookiness, and I did it a little too well. That's on me. That's on me. All right. Meanwhile, speaking of spooky, let's shift gears real quick. Our scene changes once again, moving just beyond the wall where death itself speaks with our dear Esther. Argento, you stand over a rocking crib, looking down at a small bundle that lies still in its center, stained with brown. What would you like to do as you look upon it?
I want to do something I've never done as a paladin, which is a bit silly, but I want to use my divine sense to see if I can detect any undead or within this room. I can detect within 60 feet, I can detect celestial, fiend, or undead of any kind.
Right. Your eyes begin to glow, and magics from your divine holiness begin to glow into your eyes. And as you scan, you do not seem to sense any form of undead. But there is evil here. A lot of evil. And it seems to emanate from the bundle that's wrapped up in front of you.
So I just cautiously look down at it. And then I turn to Vagog and say, clearly there's something evil.
Just be
here.
careful.
All right.
I don't know if maybe we shouldn't mess with it. I don't know. I don't. I'm pretty weak. I haven't rested in a very long time.
Same. in that case, I'm going to cast Mage Armor. I haven't actually done that in a while.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself at 2nd level because I don't have any first one. So
As you are casting your spell, the bundle begins to make noise.
oh gosh.
I take out both of my axes. And I stand ready to just like waylay this thing if it moves, it jumps out of this thing at all. So,
Argento's definitely the person who punches the actors at a haunted house.
yes.
All right. As this happens, the bed starts to rock back and forth.
Chop it up.
It starts to get faster and faster.
I slowly take a step back.
Bumps into me, and I take the step back from the bump. Like, ugh.
What did you find in here, Vagog? What?
I found a picture of Strahd, and he spoke to me. He said,
Strahd.
"Yeah, you remember the guy at the campfire that we met?"
I don't
think he's-
remember meeting anyone at a campfire. I remember there's a guy in a
okay.
castle.
Yeah. So that guy, I spoke to Strahd. He's going for what is that town again?
The bundle starts floating.
He said he was going for Valaki. Floating?
Yep.
Let's talk about this later. We should exit the room.
The bundle starts to unravel.
I'm gonna make a run for it.
Page, sheet by sheet. It starts to
I just stand at the
smaller
door ready to fight.
and smaller.
Argento, move!
Vagog's like trying to push you out the room. I want to leave! Please! Get out of the doorway!
I move out of the way and let Vergog run away. Run away!
I was grabbing the Zoom call because I was so nervous.
Alright. What are you doing?
Are you closing the door behind you?
Poison the door.
Yeah, closing it.
No, I'll leave it open because I want to help Argento out. I just wanted to not be the first one in there. So I just was like, move! I'll stand behind you. And I'm getting ready to help him if he needs it. But if he's running, then I'm going to run.
It's almost like the multiple near-death experiences you've had recently have changed your mind about.
Alright, crazy. Argento, what are you doing? Are you staying in the room?
I'm backing out of the room slowly, but I'm mesmerized at what's happening. I don't want to turn my back and have this thing like spring on me.
Okay, yeah.
So
So you're walking backwards, both axes in hand.
Yes.
You begin to walk
Yes.
backwards, and as the wraps unfurl, it falls to the ground as the last sheet empties. And inside, what you see is almost like a doll, a rotten, meat-filled doll with a white dress that is stained with dried blood. And in place of what would otherwise have been a doll's porcelain head, you see a rotten apple with eyes carved out and a mouth carved from the this visage. Its twisted and wrinkly face stops and looks generally in your direction. And as it does, it smiles and begins to move in your direction.
It's the witch from Left 4 Dead. It screams and no, I'm just kidding.
Alright, let's see if I can get this right.
Chaco apple.
One moment. Nope, that's not working. No. Hello?
Hello.
Hopefully that'll work. If it doesn't, then meh. All right. What do you do? What do you do?
Well, I know what I would like to do, but I think Argento is just he sees this as a threat to him. He's obviously it's going to follow me, so I stand my ground and I don't go for it, but I stop moving and just ready myself.
All right. Guardian Leviosa. Sorry, that got me. All right. So you back yourselves out. As it does, it begins to float in your direction.
Run, you fools!
All right. As we go to... Nope, okay. Oh, yeah, here we go. You hear... Maybe this is the right one. As the apple doll starts floating towards you, Argento, it doesn't move quickly, but it definitely moves with purpose towards you.
I look to Ragog and say, "It's following us."
What do you? Of course it is. What do you plan on doing?
I don't know.
can help.
What should
I
we
can
do?
help.
Should we?
If
should
you
we
want to
run
attack
for
it, I can help. But I would say we should run.
All right. While the two of them argue while this floating apple is coming towards them, we return down to the basement of the house. All right. Demiro. The beautiful woman in front of you suddenly sheds her skin. It peels and sloths off like a snake shedding as what is now revealed is a green-skinned elderly woman with brilliant white hair and a snaggled tooth. She looks at you with a vicious grin, and we're going to go into an initiative now, because I think everyone's in kind of a battle of some kind. So there we go. Let's just get rid of these dudes, because we don't need them. And, all right.
How do you keep your hair so white?
She says, "With the blood of pretty men."
Oh, sounds legit.
All right. Also, a very, very big shout out, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the great GM himself has come and joined us. Hi, Guy. How you doing? I missed you, buddy.
Hey, guy.
Hi. Yes, welcome in. We're doing things. We're doing things. A green hag has wooed Demiro into a basement cellar with wine, and now this is happening. So
Yeah, the wine was still good.
the wine was great until she tried to poison it, and he kept faking he was poisoned. And I mean, who does that? Who does that? All right. So
Yeah, especially we could be really poisoned. Like that.
all right.
Only a fool would do that.
That's very true. All right, Demiro, it is your turn. You can see the hag in front of you. And let's see what this sounds like. Jesus.
That's creepy.
I will, given she was kind of a bit taken aback when I mentioned that I wasn't in love,
Yep, it was very much
I
so.
will use that as my unsettling words and give her a negative D8 on the next save. And I'm going to cast slow on her.
Gonna cast slow on her. Very nice. All right. Roll. Make the spell cast as you begin to conjure your spell in front of her. She looks at you and she says, "Ah, that's some pretty magic, my lovely and delectable satyr." But
I don't have it on the map, so I cannot drag her.
But it is no use. You will soon meet your end, and I will bathe in your blood. Your skin will make me youthful again.
Not sure I have enough skin for that.
Ooh.
She fails. She gets a negative. Well, maybe a negative. No, she doesn't. She gets a 4 on her check. So she fails, and she is slowed as she says, "Yes, just like I had to cut the heart out of my true love, I will also." And she keeps going.
Just while she's finishing that, I'll just grab another bottle of wine.
Yeah, you grab it off her, like she's got like the few of them with her.
The rest
You
of
like
the
grab
bottle.
one off her belt, and you're like, okay, thank you. Upstairs, Argento, your back is up against the wall as sorry, not up against the wall. You're moving out of the room as this floating doll with a rotten apple head is floating towards you. What do you do?
Uh,
La 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 la.
yeah, I'm just gonna keep going backwards with Ragog basically running tail behind me. I'm just gonna keep backing up with him.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. So you're gonna like wait for Vigog to run, or you're just gonna run?
No, I'm actually letting Ragog do whatever he can take off behind me, but I'm just gonna keep backing up.
Yep. All right,
And a good pace. I'm not.
Sure.
running,
Let's say about 10 foot. 10 foot's a decent backup.
yeah.
All right.
Ah!
All right. Next, we return to the hag. The hag hisses and says, You will fall like my love did before. Your heart will sustain me. Now, does slow have any impact on attack value, like to hit? I feel like it's a -2, maybe, or a disadvantage.
It takes -2 to AC and Dex. Can't use reactions. It can either use an action or a bonus action, but not both. Its abilities and magic items.
Okay, so no penalty.
So regardless of abilities and magic items, it can't make more than one melee attack during its turn.
Yep.
If it attempts to cast a spell, it on a D20 11 or higher, it doesn't work until the next turn.
All right, nice and easy then. She turns her claws outwards and attempts to scratch you. And as she does, she swings her arm by you. It misses you quite thoroughly. And you notice at this point that as she seems to scratch you, something odd about her body. I would like you to make me a nature check.
Nature.
Also, let's boost up some battle music, shall we?
Creepy battle music.
There we go. Beautiful.
Someone did a reroll.
Nice. Okay. Oh, we got a reroll. All right. So, you may choose to hang on to that reroll if I'll reroll the attack. Unfortunately, Jolly, we don't reroll the villain's attacks. We are very player positive on the channel. But what I will allow you to do is
Bad guys get the plot twists for them, though.
What's that?
Bad guys get the plot twists in their favor.
Yeah, bad guy plot twists are in their favor. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to allow you to either choose to give it to a player, or I will allow it to be used as an advantage for a villain in their next roll. So that that can be kind of an advanced thing. It can be a what do you call it? A woe, as it were. All right. Now, the witch turns and she scratches and misses, but you notice that her arm appears to be made of wood. Now, you've seen many woods before, many different types: pine, birch, whole bunch. It's really strange. Her arm seems to be made of apple wood.
Oh god.
It is strange.
All right. Now.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder, Taz, for you.
All right, back to the top of the round. We go to Vigog. Vigog, the doll is moving towards you. Its head twitches wildly as it looks to you. A small drool spittle of applesauce.
Ew. Is it still in the other room?
It is still in the other room. It is floating towards you, though.
Alright, I'm gonna go up to the door and close it.
Alright. You go up to the door and close it. As you get close, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
So, I get advantage because he said that he wants to use that reroll on ours thing, I guess.
Very well. Okay.
Yeah, he said the first roll on the apple.
Alright. So, thank you, Jolly, for gifting Vigog the reroll.
Okay, so wisdom with advantage. Ooh.
Pretty
19.
good, pretty good. All right. That is a 19. With a 19, you feel something compel you to hug the baby, to hold it close.
No.
But you manage to resist. Literally by 1 point.
Oh!
Which is exactly what you needed. All right. So, as you slam the door shut, you hear the sounds on the other side of the door of something clawing and scratching.
Then the rest of my movement, I'm gonna run and be like, run!
Flee! Flee this place of death! All right.
Just to run into more death.
Esther, you can now see Vigog and Argento running from something.
Run!
Oh no.
She's
Now,
running
keeping
towards
in
the
mind-
Grim Reaper.
Yeah, exactly. For those who thought, Esther is currently talking to a
They're
Grim
literally
Reaper.
running towards death.
Oh, wait. No. Shh. I've got this. Wait.
I saw you guys went outside and there was a sign.
I've got this. Wait. All right, I want to do this. Oh, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be epic. Okay, Michael, you've lived for this moment. You ready? As Vigog turns and begins to run, he sprints like a bat out of hell. Having seen this demonic apple-headed creature, he turns and he runs, slamming the doors behind him as he jolts and darts straight for the door. He even runs past Esther. Esther, in a moment of panic, your eyes widen, seeing Vigog, and you look over at the Reaper. The Reaper says nothing. He doesn't move to Vigog at all. All that happens is, Vigog, your shoe comes undone, and you trip, and you fall over the edge of this ledge. As you fall from the second story, we are going to play the plot twist card, the agony of defeat.
Jay's reaction.
You break your neck is what you do.
What? I can't even reaction feather fall?
All right. Before we do that.
Oh god! All right.
Broke your neck on the way down.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no! I've got a better one. I got this. No, because I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
You've gone over the ledge, but I haven't said you've landed. Right? We've got it over the ledge, but we've still got some more to do. This is going to be like full Final Destination crap. Okay. Now,
Oh, no.
before we do this, however, Aya Janasi has given a chance plot twist. Yeah, we've got another plot twist from Aya
Even
Janasi.
more.
This might save you. This
Is not twisted enough.
It's not twisty enough. This needs to be a little more twist. All right.
Need a more twist.
Need to twist a lemon with this.
Impaled on the broken barrels.
All right. Not as it seems or sanity check. Those are your two choices, Aya Janasi. Not as it seems or sanity check. Those are your two choices. Let me know in chat, and I will put them to play.
The guy's already insane, so that one's not really much.
So, as you go over the ledge, you start to plummet and fall. Your head is the first thing that goes over the edge as you fall downwards. As this happens, however, for those of you who remember, that large machine you see there is a winch, a large hook that is used to try and lower barrels down onto the lower floor. As Vigog falls over the ledge, suddenly, you watch as his body straightens, as the hook impales into his jaw.
Oh my god.
And goes taut. The Reaper disappears.
I'm okay, guys.
All right. That is Esther. Oh, sorry. That is Vigog's turn. Esther, you see that happen.
What?
What do you do?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm not shouting at you. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's a good yell.
I'm excited. What the heck?
That will require a tetanus shot.
I have no idea.
Well, he has a giant hook in his head, so I mean, yeah.
The shot's okay. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Where's No, that wouldn't work because it wasn't a critical. Hit. That wouldn't count. Okay.
Use stone endurance to reduce the damage of the hook. No.
Do I see Argento?
Yeah, you can see Argento. What's Argento's reaction to this, by the way?
He's
Actually, I'm not even looking that direction. I'm still looking back from where the door
Keep an eye out
is.
for the baby.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this apple thing to come.
All right, I'm gonna say that the what happened was so loud and violent. You just couldn't help but look. You know, it's like if you hear a car crash behind you while you're keeping an eye on something, you can't help but look. You know.
So I guess Argento would just sort of be almost stunned in the moment of what he just sort of turned around to witness. And so all I see is Vergov basically rocking back and forth on this hook.
Argento, we gotta get him down.
And then I would sort of take off running after Esther says, let's get him down. And I come running that way.
All right, so you're gonna head that way. So Esther, what are you doing now? You see Argento's like.
So is the winch still functional? Could I lower it?
Yeah, absolutely. You rush over to the mechanism itself and you pull on a lever. As it does so, it begins to lower him down. There is splintered barrels behind, but before anyone has a laugh at me throwing him into spikes, it's lowered slow enough that it's not going to do any damage to him. But you do see a large pool of blood collecting at his feet.
And that would have been my...
move action, standard action to activate the machine.
Because I can't do... What I did want to do, I can't really do until the thing's off of him. Sure. I don't believe.
Sure. Not a problem. All right. So, following which, we now go back to Demiro. Demiro, the hag is trying to scratch at you, but to no avail. What do you wish to do?
And seems to have a wooden arm.
Yes.
Weird.
In fact, almost her whole body is made of wood. Very dry wood.
I might take a step back and pull out the oil flask with a wick that we made up for the spider webs before.
Oh, yeah.
And just while she's sort of going, I just sort of casually light it in front of her.
She does seem to recoil at the flames very nervously. Also, I want to take a moment to read out one of the comments from chat. The Jolly Buddha says, "My heart is pounding. Is Vagag taking damage, or is he just hanging out?" to which my response to that is quite simply, I'm building suspense.
You got us hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, this is why I get paid the big bucks. I hope Guy heard that. That's all right. Okay, so Demiro, as you see that is a very visible reaction. She definitely does not like the idea of fire.
And then I will toss it on her.
All right. Flaming bottle in hand, you make your attack as you throw your bottle of flames upon her. Awesome.
Guess so. Just they're all the same.
The Jolly Buddha has
I think
just the Jolly Buddha has just tipped $10, which means you get to decide wheel or woe. In the immediate action, you can decide quite simply if you would like a turn of event, something spontaneous. This is like just a sudden event. You can decide if something is wheeled, which is something good for the players, or woe, something bad for the players. So just throw out willed or woe, and that'll happen, right? Well, it depends on how far we get in the turn, but yeah, there you go. All right, go.
I was going to, since I think we still had 3 inspirations left,
Yes, correct. You still have 3 remaining from the hype train.
and our time is running out, so I thought I'd use one of those on the attack. That's all right.
Very well. Okay.
Oh!
Wow!
Damn! Okay. As the bottle smashes into her face, we have played Wield from the Jolly Buddha as well. The body of the very dry Apple Witch burns and ignites, and she begins to scream in agony. She says, "My eyes! My eyes! Oh, curse, you've blinded me! I'm burning! Burning! Ah!"
I mean, you were just trying to kill me.
Yep.
Yep. Ah!
As this happens, however, you can also hear the sounds of shrieking coming from upstairs. Not you, Demira, but everyone else, as the apple doll creature is also screaming in pain.
Oh!
Yeah.
Demira, as the flames begin to dissipate, you expected to see her burned, and as she does, she looks up, and you hear this. She seems unscathed by your attack. Fool! Do you think your paltry tricks will stop me?
No, that's why I've got a rapier as well.
Well, let's see if you can put that to good use before I tear your heart out.
That's.
Alright, Argento,
Yes.
it's your turn. The guard
Alright.
has been lowered down to the platform below on the first floor.
How far down is it?
Oh, sorry, my apologies. I did forget something. After Demiro's go, you hear the sound of doors opening, and behind you, you see the floating doll with the rotten apple core head. It seems to be smiling, but there's something different now. Several parts of its body are burnt. Its apple has like these huge burn marks on its face and on its shoulders. It looks like it's really been battered apart.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. So how far down is Vergog?
Vagog is 20 foot down.
All right.
I don't know if we can Indiana Jones this one. I don't know if we can just.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna risk jumping on this one.
Yeah, let's not. I don't. Please no.
You jump on the
Um,
opposite and it sends me up.
This isn't a pulley thing.
Ting, ting.
I just looked to Esther and say,
Another plot
help
twist.
him. I just tell her to help him, and then I actually take my axes and I go towards the apple creature.
It's the apple of your eye, you might say.
It is. I'm ready to.
All right, nice. All right, we have another plot twist from
Go ahead.
Avarian CA. As you make your way towards the apple doll, both axes brandished in hand.
So I'm basically just like really pissed off at everything that's sort of happened here. Obviously, Vergog's laid out, and I kind of feel like it's part of this whole thing's fault. So I basically just let out a loud roar, and I take one of my axes and I throw it. Just throw it at it.
Use a universal.
Do you want to use one of the universal inspirations for a positive flip?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
All right. You flip with an advantage as you and hurl this spinning axe towards it. Damn, that is lucky. Dropping the natural 1, you get a 16. Guys, thank you to everyone who participated in the hype train earlier on. Guys, you guys are
That's huge.
awesome. All right. So, but by the way, that does only leave one more hype inspiration to go from.
Yep.
So, as the axe floats through the air, it suddenly thwack, hits and embeds into the apple creature. Roll your damage if you can. Just roll in chat.
Yes. 7 damage.
Ooh, all right. So, as you've managed to strike at it, another piece of it seems to fall off. At this point, Demiro, downstairs, the witch seems to manifest a strange wound across its shoulder. She seems to hold it almost as if to hide the wound from you, but it's, quite an obvious one, as it seems to have been done by an axe. All right.
I also get a second attack as part of my normal.
Did I say you could have a second attack, mate?
Well, I do have. I've dual attack.
I know. You can have a second attack. All right, go
So
on.
after I've hurled the one, I just go running, basically, and chop the other one with my.
Okay, grabbing the other axe with both hands, you swing. And as you bring it down,
Only a 10.
that is a 10.
You want
10 will miss as it whizzes past and collides with the ground. Now, how long is the witch slowed for, by the way?
It's a save at the end of the round.
All right, so she should have made a save before. So what was this?
Okay.
Can you
Gonna
roll a
drag it
save?
on.
Yeah, can you just roll the save on her again? There's a reroll for the axe attack from Ire Janasi. Argento, make that attack again if you
She
can.
failed.
Yeah, so she's still slowed. Okay.
Yes.
19 will
Nice.
hit.
Better.
All right. So yeah, let me just go back. Let me just quickly go back here. So Argento, as you swing your axe, you initially miss as you swing past and hit the ground. But as your axe embeds in the ground, you take a few moments. You see that this the apple sockets start to tear up with this apple sauce. Rotten and foul smelling, it sort of drips down its face as it smiles and looks like it's about to grab you. You almost instinctually rip your axe out of the ground, and that backhand clips the side of the applejack with a glorious 10 points of damage. Now, at that point, the witch cries out in pain. Her head now seems to split open, revealing a fissure. Now, there's no brains and skull or any gooiness in there. It looks like she's almost made of wood. Almost entirely made of wood. Almost as if she's a doll, in fact.
Ooh.
As she covers her face, trying to hide her appearance, she looks over at Demiro, and she says, You boast freedom. You say that you wander to seek how far your legs will take you. But you're not going towards things, Demiro. No, I've seen your sort before. You flee like a coward from anything that would tie you down. That is why you don't feel love. You're not worthy of it.
I'm sorry that you misunderstood again, but I didn't say I don't feel love.
Whoa.
I'm not in love.
All right. You pass against her vicious mockery.
She's
Yes, you pass against her vicious mockery, and as you do so, you basically turn around and just be like, no, I feel love, just not for you. I mean, I'm not into that. You return the vicious mockery with another vicious mockery.
Going back and forth at each other the whole
Just
time.
back and forth. All right.
No, you suck.
All right, Vagan, we return to you as the battle rages on in the cellar. Vagog, we are going to play our plot twist card. Not as it seems. Now, while your injury seems incredibly vicious, almost as if you were dying, hanging, thankfully, however, as many of you would know, there is actually no vital components that are in the lower jaw just underneath where the palate of the tongue happens to be. So while the hook has gone through your cheek and through your jaw, you're actually only suffering 6 damage. Which is still bad, because you've only got...
Yeah, and I'm using that stone endurance.
Let's not underestimate that either. He's always... you're almost
I'm using this stone endurance to reduce that.
Let's say that you can't for the time being. You'll be fine. I mean, look...
I'll be fine. I got 4
You got a hook through your face.
Currently, you are on the bottom floor. And also, thank you to, of course, our generous audience who gave us the plot twist, not as it seemed. So, while the Grim Reaper, for the time being, thinks Vagog is dead, it is not as it seems, and Vagog has survived his supposedly fatal encounter due to a very, very big stroke of luck. But Vagog, you are still attached to this giant hook. What would you like to do?
I know it's never... Vagog knows it's not a good idea to rip them out, because does this hook have a
only if you like your jaw.
Yeah.
And so plus, if you're not attached to it, you should just take it with you.
Sorry. Yeah, he's gonna take out one of his daggers and he's gonna cut the rope that is attached to the hook.
It's a cable.
Oh.
Maybe
Crap.
Steel. Why? Because I can. Also because wine casts are very heavy and rope breaks.
Shoot.
You can, if you would like to, attempt a medicine check to try and remove it safely from your jaw.
Yes, I will try. It's not good.
I would also like to point out that you guys also still have 1 remaining inspiration.
Oh. I will try and use that. I mean, I don't have bonuses, but...
Very well. That is the last of the hype inspiration.
Come on. Yes!
All right. As you initially, kind of pull it out, you're like, okay, no, that was bad. All right. And you actually learn to twist it ever so slightly and pull the attachment out. Now, it's not like a fishing hook. There's no flanges or anything, so it actually does come out smooth. But blood begins to pour from your jaw, which you very quickly styptic up with, just some bandages and some cloth.
Yeah.
You look up and you can see Esther is looking down at you, incredibly worried, I imagine. Yeah.
Oh,
Esther?
okay.
Yeah.
I just look at her and I say, all right,
go
help.
Okay. Now here's what I want you to do, Neil. You ready?
I can't speak.
No, you can. But what you need to do is you need to speak, but you need to have your tongue out and to the right. So this is how you have to speak. Okay, now you can talk to her.
Go help Azento.
Did you get that, Esther? The things I make my players do. Also, by the way, Guy, I did see that. He says, wait, a YouTuber and Dag specifically saying a jaw doesn't contain vital organs? Dag's month of silence. He knows that I couldn't live that. I couldn't make that. I couldn't do an hour of Dag silence. That's just not happening. Okay, so, as Vagog has pulled himself free, Esther, it is now your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna be running along the side, and seeing that the guy's okay, it's still bleeding, of course, but I have time to get down there, and I don't have to and he'll be okay for now. I'm just gonna keep that pressure on that wound, and then I turn, and I look to Argento, seeing why, because I hadn't really paid attention to why he had run back, and now I just see an apple. Argento, we should go.
I am quite busy at the moment. You just see me fighting an apple, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I say that, and then I see the apple, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna have to go down, get to Vagog, and find Demir. You'll be
Yes,
alright?
you go get him. I'll be down shortly.
Okay.
All right. So, as you look down, because this is the first time you've seen this apple creature, it looks terrifying, and you know it is what's called an effigy, a creature that has been imbued with the spirit of witch. Lots of lore to it, but you think Argento's got it. Like, they're not particularly strong. Make an arcana check as you are about to leave. Okay. Okay. So, as you're about to leave, something dawns on you. Effigies don't have many abilities, but they have one. It is called the Thread of Fate. If they strike a creature with a needle that is always found on these effigies, the person to whom the needle has been injured must make a saving throw, and if they fail, at any point in time within 24 hours, if the effigy is destroyed, that person dies as well. That is what you know, Esther, as you go.
Okay. Would I have time to say something?
Yeah, of
Out
course.
that?
Of course.
Sorry. I actually think, sorry. Where is it? Shinto, if you can attack from distance, I would suggest that. Do not let yourself get hit by that needle. It ain't gonna be good for you.
I just look a little bit confused, and because I don't really know what she means by, because I don't know. Can you see this needle, or is it like?
No. Well, you haven't seen a needle yet. No.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of looking like.
Oh, I thought that
what does she mean?
sorry.
No, that's all right. Like
he
I
turns
would
back
just be
and looks
that
at
way.
Esther and is like, "What needle? Thwack."
Yeah, right in the back.
Oh, that needle.
But I
Needle.
basically wave a hand like yep, gotcha.
All right, very well. Demiro. Oh wait, no, Esther, you were just moving away. Did you have a standard? Did you have a basic action you wanted to do?
Oh, I can say that. Well, with this corridor, I don't think that I could really get a spell past Argento without it possibly hitting him.
No. The apple creature is like this tiny, and it is behind Argento, who is quite large.
Right. So
I'd say you'd be at a disadvantage on any ranged attacks you'd make, but you can also target it with a spell that makes saving throws and stuff.
okay. Let's see. Wait. Hold on. Does it happen? Okay. So, does it happen to be in the doorway?
Yes.
It probably wouldn't work, but I've been waiting so long to use Thaumaturgy to slam a door on something.
Very well, if you must. Make a ranged
No,
attack.
it's okay.
Make a ranged attack. Do so at disadvantage.
With Thaumaturgy, okay.
No, yeah. Your thaumaturgy is going to slam the door, but it's still going to be a ranged attack to try and actually.
Right, yeah.
But you will use your spellcasting stat for that particular thing. Raid
So
from Roll for Damage. Sorry, just real quick while we're doing that, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got maybe like 10 minutes left in the show, but for the sake of you guys, because you guys are awesome, because you guys are wonderful, welcome Roll for Damage crew, guys. If you don't know who Roll for Damage is, please go give them some love. Check them out. They are a wonderful group of streamers from my hometown of Perth. Some great and amazing people there. Now, guys, if you don't know, we are playing Curse of Strahd, our D&D 5th edition adventure. We have Vagog, our Goliath Chronomancer, who is currently dealing with having been hooked by a giant wench and being dragged over the side of a building. Yeah, that was pretty nasty. We have Argento, our Dragonborn Paladin, who is currently doing battle with a tiny porcelain doll whose head has been removed and replaced with a rotten apple core. It looks horrible, and it's got like a face carved into it. It's nasty. It's messy. It's gross. Demiro, our satyr bard, is currently battling a green hag who disguised itself as a beautiful woman and lured him into the basement for some wine, and now he is toe-to-toe fighting this hag. And Esther, our changeling cleric, is currently trying to lend assistance to all of her allies, starting, of course, with Argento by using thaumaturgy to slam the door behind the Dragonborn and knock the poor little apple porcelain doll thing to try and collapse it. So yeah, that's what's happening right now. So thank you guys. Yeah, we'll go a little bit longer. We'll do it like tiny bit longer, but the session is quite early and late for some people. So, and we do have one last plot twist card, which I will be using. So,
the guy getting hooked by a wench would be a totally different story.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Also, I do see Split the Party. Ladies and gentlemen, Split the Party is also absolutely wonderful. Please go check them out. And of course, guys, if you are a great GM, then that is no better place for you to find yourself. Go check out the Great GM's channel, both on Twitch and on YouTube, because our dear friend Guy is, of course, tuning in today, and we love him. We love him. I miss him so much. I tell this to people all the time. I miss playing with my best friend, my best role-playing partner I've ever had. I cannot wait because I have a couple of plans coming up.
You're fun to play with that.
Yeah, to get to play with him again. So yes, that will happen. All right, let's get into it. Let's get this started. Okay. Whew. Now, Esther, what do we get for our attack? That is a 15. With a 15, you slam the door into the small poor puppet. Roll a d6 for me, and that is how much damage you will deal as the doll gets smashed against the wall.
Wham!
Quabam! Shots fired.
Oh.
I love you too, Josh. But you know what? We've only played together. We haven't had the GMing player response thing yet. I get to play with you on the 29th. Get into that too. All right. There's 1 point of damage. So while the hit, of course, manages to strike the doll, it bounces off the wall and looks over at Esther. It hisses nastily as it then draws from its sleeve the pin that was mentioned before.
That needle, Argento.
Argento, as you are in melee with it, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as it flies towards you and stabs you in the arm, or at least tries to stab you in the arm. The tiny apple eyes
Quick
open.
question. I have an aura of protection. Does that allow me to roll advantage?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Hopefully this comes out.
Oh, my lord! Oh, that was unfortunate for an advantage. That was a natural 1 followed by a
You said
natural
keep your eye on it,
2.
not literally.
So
What
Do we have to do a reroll?
What needle?
There we go.
Oh, do not fret. GM Workshop has gifted you a reroll, Argento.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes, GM Workshop, you can. This is obviously in the player's favor, and like I said, we are player positive.
Oh my god.
That did not help, though. Argento, the goal of rolling advantage is to try and roll above a 10, mate. And I know you've got a -1 on your deck save, which isn't great, but you know. All right, so the needle. Thank you, Avarian. Big love. Argento, you have been afforded a 3rd reroll. You may please.
Does he get to keep
reroll.
advantage?
If I fail on this one, I'm going to cut my own throat with my
Well,
axe.
it is a direct reroll. Because it's an instant one, it is a direct reroll.
Oh,
That's still not enough. It is just not enough. Okay, I'll let you know. You need a 13. That's all you need. You need a 13 to get this. So
you
unfortunately...
need to roll a 14.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that is still not quite enough. So, the doll draws forth the needle and moves and sinks it into Argento's arm. As it does so, I need a constitution...
Can I give him my masterpiece song from the basement?
If you can hear it.
Stop it. No. All right, here we go. As the needle sinks into your arm, I need you to make a constitution saving throw.
Alright. So again, this is with advantage, right? Because of my aura.
No, this is not with advantage. So the advantage was to stop it from hitting you. Now it's about resisting the condition.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
With a 15, you take 2d6 points of necrotic damage, but you avoid the terrible effect of the poison. So, that is 45 damage so far being dealt to you as you feel the needle sink into your arm, and you watch as your arm starts to rot almost instantly. You feel it decay. The scales and muscle and sinew turn into almost like the consistency of pudding just in front of you. All right. As we then go...
Why are you trying to kill me when I just turned 17?
All right. Demiro, it is your turn.
I shall use my bonus action of unsettling words on her. And, my offer of companionship was genuine, but it seems unfortunate that your green is not from the color of your skin, but your envy of those still traveling around the world. And cast Vicious Mockery back at her.
As you cast Vicious Mockery, she says, "Ah, if you think envy is what I am all about, then you're wrong, for it is not envy that drives me." She puffs her chest out and she says, "But pride!" And I'm going to play my pride card. Yay!
Hooray! And we had a villain exposition revealing their weakness.
Yeah, we did. All right. So with the pride card, here is what this happens. Now, I'm going to give her advantage on this saving throw. So could you please roll the save yet again?
Oops. Yep.
Oops. Oh, no. I already did the damage. Too late, Mike. All right. She manages to use her pride and resist the damage. Yes, Esther.
Just something else. I forget what. You use Dissonant Whisper. Is that for attacks on her end?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
All right. Which brings us back to Argento. Argento, what do you want to do, mate?
Well, hearing what Esther had said, I guess the question I would have is if I try to get away from this, is it going to be given an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
All right. Well, considering that, I'll just stand my ground then and be very pissed off that it tried to basically kill me. And I want to use my vow of enmity.
Ooh, what does that do?
So the vow of enmity allows me to have advantages on all attack rolls for with any creature I call it on within 10 feet for up to a minute. So all attack rolls are with advantage.
Nice. I love that. All right. 1 second. I'm gonna just.
And that's a bonus action. So.
That was a bonus action?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's part of my channel divinity as a.
All right.
Oath of the Vengeance Paladin.
Here we go.
And then I'm just going to double attack it with my axes.
All right. Taking forth your axes, you swear your vow. As it does, it fills you with even greater strength as you swing the first axe down onto the apple. Deal your damage as your first hit collides with its body. 6 points of damage as bits shatter from it. The robes tatter. And the next, as you swing your second, wham! Another strong hit collides with its head. And another 6 damage. All right. And as you do so, the witch falls in the basement. You watch as she crumbles down with cuts and scars appearing over her body. The apple creature lands on the ground, still alive, barely moving. Which brings us to Demiro. Demiro. As the old woman lies lies barely conscious on the floor. She looks up at you, and you see a tear running down her cheek. She says,
"It was not meant to be like this.
No, it wasn't.
We were supposed to. We were supposed to run away together. He and I."
I'll kneel down next to her, and it's time for you to join your lover now. And just stroke her cheek and ram the rapier through.
Oh.
as you hold onto her cheek, you see more of that wood start to like sort of fall away from her face. As it does, it reveals the beautiful woman you saw when you first laid eyes on her. Her skin glowing very subtly with kind of this very honey kind of glow. She looks past you, almost beyond you, and in her eyes, your face changes. As it does so, you can actually see that your face was actually identical to the lover that she imagined. And she says, "I see you. I really see you." And in that moment, she closes her eyes. Argento, you see the doll crawling away from where you are. Again, that rotten apple head shriveling even more. It coughs up this like little puddle of rotten apple juice. What do you do?
Can I walk up to it and stomp on it?
Oh yeah. You walk up
That's
to
what
it,
I'll
You go up and dip your bread in there.
and as you raise your foot and crush it, its head explodes violently, leaving a brown puddle where its head was, and the body reaching forward goes limp. As the instant that happens, the witch's body starts to dissolve and transform into tiny motes of light that just sort of break away, leaving behind only her clothes and her belongings. They slump down in your hands, Demiro, as you hold onto them, and you watch as the light slowly fades here in the dark beneath the city, or beneath the winery. Before all the lights dim and vanish, one single tiny solitary mote flies and floats just beneath what looks to be a pile of books, recipes, and the like for various wines. Making your way over there, you quickly rifle through the belongings here, and buried underneath, you see a small box with a rune upon it. Upon the opening of that box, you see something that holds your breath. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of today's session. Woo!
Whoa! Oh my god.
All right.
Oh.
There was indeed
Give
some
us the
loot.
magic item. I'm so sorry.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so
that was Aya Janasi. So Aya Janasi, we are going to give a magic item. We are definitely going to give a magic item. That magic item is going to be in this box in addition to what else is there as well. I would like to ask my players, please do remind me that there is a magic item in there, because I guarantee you I will forget. Not because I don't love you guys, but because I'm so forgetful. Also, Aya Janasi, please do feel free to hit me up if there is a item that specifically tickles your fancy that could ideally fit in a box. Okay, like, you know, just, it could
The
be a
box
big-
is just a small video screen.
Look,
playing
it can be a
video
big
of-
box.
Yeah.
Guy, have you not been following my channel?
Don't give it to don't give the magic item to me. I don't deserve it. I
I
don't
had
deserve
words.
it.
I don't even have
No,
words.
he-
I don't have words.
no,
I
he
love you, though.
unfollows.
I love you, though. All right. So anyway, I digress, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before we leave, right, another big thank you to, of course, everyone in the audience, all your donations, all of your subscriptions. You guys are incredible, and you not only help support this channel and help support me. You guys also inspire so many stories. The story with the witch, for example, came from you guys. That was the mistaken identity card that you guys had pulled last week, where she had the mistaken identity of Demiro being her former lover. That built this whole adventure. So guys, if you want to play more games like this with me and with my players, subscribe, follow, come see me next time, because literally that's all we do. Now, before we sign out, what we like to do here is we like to do something that was inspired by the dreaded GM, one of our friends, and that is we do memorable moments. We tell each other what the most memorable moment of today's session was, and yeah, we do that. And also, don't worry, Guy, I won't hate you. All right, so let us start with none other than Argento. Argento,
Yes.
what was your most memorable moment from today's session?
Oh, look.
Also, real quick, audience members, please feel free to share your memorable moments as well as any questions you might have for myself or the cast as well. Now's the time. All right, sorry, I apologize. Argento, go.
No, I think there was a lot of interesting things that took place today. There was so many different elements that went on, being a split group again, and it was always, it's funny enough to say, entertaining to watch Bagog do another magic trick for us all, hooking himself like a fish. But for me, I think what was really cool was the way that you allowed us to help Demiro. You know, so every time I attacked the apple creature, it actually helped him and vice versa. So I just thought that was a really cool way to allow us to help somebody in the party that we didn't know otherwise was in trouble. And I thought that was pretty cool to sort of have the banter with Bagog as well over this tiny little doll creature. Here's this big dragonborn and Goliath, and we're running from a little apple creature.
No, that was absolutely brilliant. I couldn't agree more. I think I think scenes like that are very important to remember, because I mean, ultimately the book itself is written as a sandbox, you know. And as much as I would love to just wipe out Demiro for the fun of it, sometimes being able to think on the fly of like how to make a game interesting, or how to make sure that you know the game is engaging for everyone involved. And I will give credit where credit is due. I actually learned a lot about how to deal with split parties from Guy. How to be a great GM. Mostly because while there have been a couple of videos on not splitting the party, I think he has probably been the most successful individual that I've seen across many games who has been able to manage tables that have split so incredibly well. So I've actually learned, definitely one of my skills at splitting the party has come from having played with him so many times, because he's phenomenal at it. He's absolutely phenomenal at it.
And real quick, I just wanted to add just one quick thing. I thought what was really interesting is some of the people in the chat were talking about, the suspense. So I just want to make it clear from a player perspective, we were literally running from a doll because
Yes, you were.
I was like, this thing's going to kill me. So the suspense is also here for us too, just so you guys know. That's how awesome this whole thing is. So awesome.
No,
I love the
absolutely.
game coming out. It's like,
No, absolutely.
Yes.
These are Patreon games, right? Like you guys are phenomenal role players, right? But ultimately these guys are supporting me by being on my Patreon, by doing some cool stuff. So I treat this like I treat any table, right? Like as much as I love playing with the audience, these guys love playing with the audience. I'm also here to make sure that you guys have a good time, and I'm glad that you guys did, and that was the walk away. Neil, favorite moment for today, if you would, sir?
Well, you see, I think that was fun. I enjoyed that when you made me do the tongue thing. I'm like, yes, I get to be dumb and stupid even more. Yes.
No, it was definitely very
good.
cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, but I definitely enjoyed the Reaper coming out of the wall. That was pretty neat. Like the whole it's like slinking out of this inky, sludgy, like shadowy goop, and I'm like, oh, this is so creepy.
Oh yeah, recently. So this is, I mean, I hate the fact that I can do because I have so many inspirations by things that I love, and I always do promotional plugs. So, as many of you know, one of my favorite games is Weird, Through the Breach, and a whole bunch of stuff. They're releasing a new board game called Vagrant Song, and it uses a particular art style called rubber hose art, which was used for Steamboat Mickey and a bunch of those kind of artworks and stuff like that. And the idea of Bendy and the Ink Machine and that kind of inky awesome kind of thing. That's what inspired that moment. Is I was thinking about like, what does a Grim Reaper look like? And I didn't want to just make a skeleton in a robe, so I thought about like, what if there were black ink leaking from the walls, and what if they throw their arms out and stuff like that. Also, Drazza, are you talking about like? I don't like Through the Breach, okay, mate? I love Through the Breach.
He owns everything with it.
I love Through the Breach. I've played 2 games so far in my life, but I've run so many. I love Through the Breach. Don't get me started. All right. So anyway, yes, no.
Thinking, is this Bendy? Whenever I saw the art, I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
Bendy's had better days. Bendy's had better days.
Yeah, no, it was definitely very... also a little bit of Hexus from Fern Gully, if you are an enjoyer of classic cartoons. That scene where he had all the ink and the tar dripping over him with the skeleton form. That, for me, is what I think of when I embody, like, death or the Grim Reaper. That's kind of what I see, so... Yeah, it was nice to share that, too. Esther! Memorable moment.
Thanks. Sorry. I had a few, so I was just trying to figure it out.
Look, I'm going to give you the same rule that I'm going to give that I give Dread. I will make you go last every time if you can't pick just one. You can't steal everyone's favorite moment.
No. I was trying to figure out one, so I didn't do all of them.
Good.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, no, if you've ever been on Dread's channel and he does these, he literally, anytime he goes, he just, lists off everything he loved about everything, which is literally everything anyone else can think of. It's fun. We love him.
Well, I just didn't want to say again because we already talked about it. I did really like your portrayal of the Reaper and sort of the neutrality of them.
Nice. No, I appreciate that. No, you can say the same favorite moment twice. It was very cool. Yeah, like I said, I did absolutely love that as well, and I loved how you engaged with it as well. Like there was kind of a reverence to it, but at the same time, not like terrifying thing. There were you were respectful at every step of the way, and it was very cool. Yeah. I won't say that I wasn't disappointed that I couldn't give you the magic item because I felt terrible. I was like, why can't I just give them nice things? Why couldn't they have just opened a cupboard and found a sword and the sword is on fire? Why couldn't I have done that? No, I had to do the complicated thing because I think it was cool.
I
really said it.
And then it's and somehow it all turned into me killing Vagog. So there you go.
Okay, so I thought that whenever you were describing it, the reason that you said that I wouldn't do this, Esther wouldn't do this, is because it's against what she does. So I was just like,
no, I thought having a totem of death would be cool. That's where my head was. So that was my misunderstanding. You know what? You can predict. You could try to predict players, but ultimately,
so sorry.
That's fine.
And Esther, to be honest, man, that was a pretty baller move to be like, well, I'll just give my life.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, damn. This is went south?
Yeah, it went so south so quickly. It's yeah.
I don't want to kill anybody. I just want to give you a treat.
I just want to give you
I think he's just saying that because we all know what a pointless gesture it is because he's just going to get himself killed some other way 5 minutes later.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a hollow threat. As if killing Vagog scares us. All right, Demiro.
I liked the split party combats that was going on. I fully intended when I slowed the hag to then run out and help the other guys, but everyone up there was engaged anyway, so it wouldn't have made any difference. We would have just had the hag coming up the stairs after us. So it felt natural to just have the battles going on as they were, which was I thought was really good.
Yes. And thanks to you, all I could hear was 10 cc's. I'm not in love like the whole time we played. Not in love.
Nice. No. Don't forget. No. So anyway, yes, no, absolutely. I definitely agree. I loved the just everything about today was really, really nice. And hopefully we will get to proceed further Very much so. Now let me just do this real quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out the rest of the adventure, go check out the Dead Aussie Gamer live channel on YouTube. It's a very tiny channel. I'm not boosting it. It's not like a big, like, hey, go promote this. It is just where all my stuff lives. And if you love Through the Breach, Dazza, go check that out, because I've started doing reruns of an old show that we ran a couple years back with the Mercs of Mischief called London Falls, which features our lovely Guy from How to Be a Great GM, which, by the way, having rewatched it has just made me appreciate so much that particular table. It was just a barrel of laughs. So much stuff happened. Everything from like a demon fight at the top of Big Ben to just boss battle after boss battle after boss battle. It was amazing. All right, so I'm going to read through some of the comments real quick, and then I'm going to give my memorable moments. Then we are going to hopefully go raid someone, but everyone's gone. It's late in the hour, and no one's role playing. All right, let's have a look. So yada yada yada. Here we go. Also, Josh the Pirate. I'm very, very happy to have you as a friend, dude, and I hope that we will get to play on the 29th. I'm keen. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to be there, man. Let's see. Finishing up. Yeah. Memorable moments. Dag's gift giving, something that most of us will all want to avoid at every cost. Yeah, thanks, Chaotic. Favorite moment, building suspense by far the favorite moment. Yeah, I was building suspense. Yeah, when we were hanging Vagag from a hook, literally saying that I was building suspense because he was suspended. Yep, Vagag on a fish hook. Lots of people love that. Oh, Lord Garthon, I loved the old man reflection in the mirror. Very spooky. Yeah. I kind of lent into that scene as soon as like the mirror showed up, and then we saw Vagag age. And then once he aged, having the baby start doing stuff, it was a very unique kind of play that I was going with, and both of them did amazingly to react to fear. One of the things about any good horror game is you've usually got a multitude of ways people react to it. Sometimes people mock fear, right? Like some people will make jokes and will not take things seriously, and that's fine. That's a reaction to fear. It's a way to disarm fear by removing it from the scenario. For a good example of that is Spider-Man in Marvel Comics. He uses comedy to alleviate how frightened he is of the scenario of having to fight supervillains. Same thing we see in D&D. But when you get those moments like Vagag and Argento, where we don't care how many hit points it has, we don't care that it's a baby with an apple for a head, we are going to behave, or we're going to roleplay terror. We're going to roleplay our characters being genuinely afraid. And that's, amazing. That was really cool. And having you guys do that, I think, really added to everything about what made that scene very, very creepy. So yeah, there we go. Do love Through the Breach. Go check out more Through the Breach. And I'm also going to be helping out with the Through the Breach tutorial series as well later. So that's going to be awesome. Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. I remember that movie as a kid. The fairy girl was cute. I was a big fan of Batty because he was voiced by Robin Williams, who is my idol. And I loved Robin Williams
awesome.
Like immensely. I was very, very tormented when at his passing.
This Robin Williams?
You're legally not allowed to talk about it. I have a document. I'm not allowed to talk about Guy's character, whatever his name, Jerry Field, Monty Face, whatever, something.
I need to
yeah.
I tried my hardest to write backwards because of my screen, so I just tried my hardest to write backwards.
Document. Well,
Documents.
Guy said I like the hag's little speech at the end, very touching. Oh, thank you. I like that little moment too, because I definitely wanted to leave her as a sympathetic villain, because she was she kind of wanted to reunite in a way, like the whole tragic death, the multiple suicides and stuff like that. It kind of was like that. That's kind of how I wanted to play that particular villain. So I'm glad that came across well. GM Workshop, the only D&D stream online that I follow is this random dude called Dead Aussie Gamer. He heads this really whole inclusive community. Probably deserves a prime server following if you're looking to raid someone. Aww, dude, that's so nice of you. That is so kind of you to say. I honestly, yeah, like I love people. That's all it comes down to. And like role playing people, I've found are just the best people. So that's it. I loved how Demiro's scene turned from seduction fight to a touching fight to a tragic death. It was a very emotional.
It was a roller coaster.
It was a very emotional a very emotional series of events for that. But it was great. It was awesome. 150 XP to Esther. Yes, 150 XP to Esther. Definitely. Draza. Oh yeah, I know that dude too. I hear he loves Through the Breach. I reckon he should do a Halloween special. Well, you say that.
Oh yeah, there was.
I'm not going to say anything.
Well,
I'm not going to say anything. But
I won't say anything. Yeah.
But there is some plans for Halloween. I can't say anything because I have signed documents that say I can't say anything. But I can tell you that I've signed documents.
You did a Christmas one last year with me.
I did a Christmas one. I did. Yeah, I've done Christmas ones before. I also did a Christmas one with Dredd and Craig from Third Floor War and Nate from WSD20. So yeah, keep watching me because I will do Through the Breach. I love it and I'll use it whenever I can. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I want to give another massive shout out to you guys in the audience for being amazing. To my wonderful Patreons. Guys, if you want to be one of my wonderful Patreons, go sign up for my Patreon chat. It's actually pretty cheap, like $50 a month to basically get a seat at one of my tables. We've got a couple of new people who've just joined in, so there may be spots for a new table opening up sometime soon. So keep a weather eye out on that. Which I should probably do your hotkeys, Michael. That's what they're there for. All right, there we go.
Which works out to about $8 an hour games in the month.
Yeah. So which is pretty good. I mean, for that level of entertainment. Yes, Esther.
I love you're still calling me Esther. May I share my sketch that I did for this week?
You may absolutely share a sketch for you for this week.
It's terrible, but
it's not terrible. Don't say that. Go on.
I will say it. It's from this Vine where it's basically a girl holding up a cross to her dog that's barking saying the power of Christ compels you. Except it's the apple, and Bagag has the cross, and Argento has the hand axe, and it just says the power of Christ compels you.
Power of Christ compels you.
What apple
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah, no. By the power of my axe, be gone, demon. All right. Nice. I love it. I also love your quick sketches. They're amazing. They really are. All right, another big shout out, of course, to our sponsors, Hero Forge, who will let us make these wonderful little minis and stuff like that, as well as allow us to make minis for our tabletop simulator of choice, which is none other than Fantasy Grounds. If you liked our sick-ass sounds, then you can find them all on Sirenscape. They're a wonderful, nice way to add an ambient level to any game, because every epic game deserves an epic soundtrack. And last but not least, do I have a last but not least? What am I doing? Next time you can find me on Friday, where I will be playing... Oh, actually, well, tomorrow you'll see the rerun. So tomorrow morning we're doing the rerun of Through the Breach. So that'll be in like 9 hours-ish, maybe 7.5 hours. And then we will have on Friday morning, we have our new series, which is a Asian-styled RPG adventure called The Ruby Phoenix, based on a Pathfinder game of the same name. Then Saturday we have Strange Aeons, which is our Lovecraft horror game in the morning, followed by, on Sunday, our Rise of the Rune Lords campaign, where we are starting up our latest book and introducing 2 new characters. So be sure to tune in for that. All right, that's all. That's everything. I'm good. We're good. Let's leave on a high note. Who are we going to go and raid? We are going to go and raid. Geez, everyone's gone. Everyone's gone. What?
I see Captain Aurora, but
is he doing a rerun or is he? Yeah, he's rerunning.
I don't know.
He's rerunning.
Yeah, it's just in my recommended.
Your calendar as well.
What's that?
You've finally started filling out your calendar.
Oh, I haven't. I've gotten someone to do that for me. Okay, let's see who's worth. Let's raid someone fun. We are going to go and raid Story Girl. Let's see what Story Girl's doing. Are you doing world building? No, you're not doing world building. Maybe we'll just call it for tonight. No one's on. I mean, if someone knows someone on, then I'll raid. But like, yeah, no one's doing this. No one's doing stuff. What a shame. Yeah, no. Anyone in chat? Any ideas? People? Nope.
Does anyone want us to raid someone?
Anyone want us to raid someone? I'll literally raid anyone right now. Also, thank you so much for the follows from Hopes for TPT RPGs, I couldn't agree with that more. Luna Deprived, very nice.
Central.
And Crimson Rockstar and Gog the Demon God. Nice to see you all
A
here.
Goofy Strahd.
Goofy Strahd.
So, Orangey is running a Goofy Strahd campaign.
What's the name?
It's Oranenji. Orangey.
Orangey.
It's a chaotic platypus if you want to copy paste it.
All right, done. We are going to go and raid Orangey. So be sure to give them all the love. Send all the love hearts and the dag raid emotes when we jump in. This is a small channel, so we want to overwhelm them with love and support. Because guys, if you're running role-playing games with small numbers, you deserve nothing but all the love in the world. So definitely be sure to flood them with all the loves, all the cool things. Sabotage the DM. Yes. Terribly sorry. Hopefully we will see you soon, though. But yes. Thank you, everyone, once again. Let me get these raid emotes together. There we go.
Raid's already happened.
Has it? No, it
Yeah,
hasn't.
the raid's already.
Oh, goddammit.
It has on mine.
It has.
Well, there we go. Okay, well, we're raiding anyway. So, till next time, guys, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.